How to get girls. The fact that you clicked this video already tells me a lot of things about you. But worry not, by the end of this, you'll understand something most people never do. Let's get started then. Section 1.
Hola.
Interpersonal attraction. First things first, you don't get girls. You're not catching Pokemon. And you're not unlocking a Fortnite skin either. What you're actually doing is creating attraction. And attraction is emotional, not logical. Which is why being a nice guy on paper means nothing. If you approach a girl and your interaction feels boring or tense, or you come off like a simp, then brother, you are cooked. Understand this, dear viewer. You're not trying to impress her. You're trying to create a feeling. If the feeling is good, you win. If it's not, then you don't. Section 2. Loss aversion trigger. Now, here's where most people mess up. They think more effort equals more attraction. Wrong. Psychology says people value what's limited, not what feels guaranteed. Imagine this. In two parallel universes, there's a you looking at some PS5s. One box says, available anytime. The other says, limited run, no restocks. Now, your brain instantly assigns more value to the second one, even though the product is identical. Kinda how when you talk to girls. So if you're always available, always texting, always initiating, congratulations! You have become background noise. Now hold on, don't get the wrong idea. This doesn't mean ghost her and disappear for 3 business days. It means be present, but not predictable. For example, you talk to her, you have a good conversation, you make an impression that's got her smiling. Then you leave. Not because you're playing mind games, but because you actually have a life. That alone signals value, because your attention is not unlimited. Section 3. The vibe problem. This is the silent killer. You're saying the right things, but it's just not quite landing. Why? Because your vibe is off. You're tense. You're calculating. You're trying to say the right thing. And suddenly, the whole thing feels like a job interview. Hi, yes, one approval, please. That kills attraction instantly. Instead, slow down, pause, make eye contact, say less, but mean it. Confidence isn't talking more, it's needing to say less and being okay with silence. That's where attraction builds. Section 4, gain loss effect. This one's subtle but very powerful. People value what they feel they've earned. Like a claw machine at an arcade. You don't even want the stuffed animal that much at first. It's just there. But after you drop a few tokens, almost get it, miss by an inch, and try again, you start caring way more than you should. At that point, it's not even about the toy anymore. It's about not walking away empty-handed. And that's exactly what the gain loss effect's about. If you like her, don't go all in immediately. Don't act like she's already won your attention on day 1. That removes all tension, and without tension, there's nothing to earn. Instead, start neutral, a little playful, a little hard to fully read, not distant, just not fully unlocked. Then, as she invests, she asks questions, she engages, she matches your energy. You gradually warm up, slightly and naturally. Like the machine finally starting to drop closer to the win. Now the dynamic shifts. She doesn't feel like she was handed your attention. She feels like she earned it. And that feeling sticks. Because people remember what they worked for, not what was freely given. But please don't make this mistake. If you stay cold the whole time, you're not the mysterious guy. You're just uninterested. The result? She walks away. And that's exactly what we don't want. You need to convey your feelings clearly, which leads us to talk about our next section. Section 5. Proximity rule. You cannot attract someone you never see. Duh, this sounds obvious. But people ignore it. Attraction builds through repeated exposure, small moments, consistent pressure, not one perfect interaction. You need to exist in the same space regularly. Class, gym, events, mutual circles, and no, please don't be weird. There's a thin line between creating proximity and stalking. I repeat, you are not Joe Goldberg. But say you do have a good proximity. How do you retain her positive feelings toward you? Section 6, the favor effect. Ask the girl you like to do things for you. This one feels backwards, I know. You might think asking favors of people will make them dislike you because you're burdening them with something. but it works. Let me explain. A study in 1971 at the University of North Carolina had volunteers give out tests to actors, pretending to be other students. Of course, the volunteers thought they were administering the study to other students, but actually they were the subject. The volunteers were told that the students would watch as they used sticks to tap out long patterns on wooden cubes. The students were asked to repeat the pattern. Each volunteer were told to try 2 different methods on 2 different groups. On one group, volunteers were told to give encouragement when the students got the patterns right. On the other group, volunteers were told to insult and criticize the students when they made a mistake. Afterwards, the volunteers filled out a debriefing questionnaire, which included questions about how attractive and likable their students were. Across the board, the students who received insults were rated as less attractive as the ones who received encouragement, concluding that when you do something kind to someone else, you like them more. So instead of always doing things for her, let her do small things for you. Nothing crazy, just simple stuff. Like, hey, can you hold this for a second? Or, do you have a pencil I can borrow? Tiny investments. But psychologically, her brain goes, why am I doing this for him? Am I helping him because I like him? Humans are weird. Section 7. The reality check. Yes, looks matter. Let's not lie to ourselves, but not in the way you think. Studies consistently show presentation matters more than genetics. Posture, grooming, clothing, and the overall energy you give off is more important. So no, you don't need to become a black pill looks maxer. Just don't look like a chud. Stand straight, wear something decent, take a shower. If you can do that, you're already ahead of a shocking number of people. Section 8. The part nobody likes. You will still get rejected. A lot. That's normal. Attraction is not universal. You can do everything else right. Good timing, good conversation, good confidence. But if you walk in looking like a Discord mod, none of it really matters. She's not going to be interested in you, my guy. But at the same time, don't overcomplicate things. This never was some secret technique. So looks max, but don't take it too far. Which brings us up to our final section. Section 9. Your biology. Believe it or not, long-term attraction often comes down to genetic compatibility. So let's step away from psychology for a second and talk neurobiology. Because at the end of the day, 2 things can instantly override almost everything else. The first one is your nose. Your nose picks up chemical signals called pheromones. These carry physical and genetic information, and they can trigger physiological and behavioral responses. Now, if those signals are compatible, that's good. But women's bodies may process this a little differently because the nose doesn't just detect pheromones. It also responds to MHC molecules, which are involved in immune function. And here's the wild part. In this case, opposites do attract. There was a study where women smelled t-shirts worn by different men, and the women tended to prefer the scent of men whose MHC molecules were different from their own, which actually makes sense. Genetic variation, especially in immune-related genes, can give offspring a survival advantage. For us guys, we don't get a built-in MHC radar. Yeah, I know, it sucks. Which means you might be compatible in every obvious way, but if that deeper biological match isn't there, she may just not feel that romantic pull. And then there's a second factor, possibly the most important one. The first kiss. Because a first kiss is not just a kiss. It's a whole exchange of tactile and chemical information. Your breath, your mouth, your timing, your energy, all of it. And that moment is so important that a lot of women report losing attraction after a bad first kiss. And if it goes well, that's when the nervous system gets involved. Norepinephrine kicks in, the fight or flight system lights up, the heart speeds up, the pupils widen, and adrenaline skyrockets. In short, you made it, bro.